Okay, tonight's cook-up is going to be something a bit sweeter, and it will be banana muffins, gluten-free. Now, my daughter gave me this recipe, so it's really delicious. Speaking of my daughter, she asked me a really good question last week. She went to the market and bought prawns, they're frozen, king prawns, raw, and put them in the fridge to thaw out, and the next day the heads were black. So she sent me a photo and rang and said, are these okay? They're okay. So what happens when you buy green prawns whole, after a day or two, the heads do go black when they thaw out. So don't be discouraged, they're fine to eat. If they're not fine, you'll know by the smell. So, but they do go black around the gills. They're perfectly okay to eat. So let's get on with this. We need almond flour, 3 cups. 3 cups of almond flour. Bicarb soda, 1 teaspoon. Baking powder, ½ teaspoon. 3 bananas, really ripe. Really ripe is better. And 3 eggs. I'll measure all this up and I'll show you how the process is. Get back to you. Okay, so what we've done is we've put our 3 bananas in the NutriBullet. We're going to put 3 eggs in there. 1, 2. Make sure they're big bananas, don't get those little ones. If you've got little ones, maybe put 4 in. 3 eggs. Baking powder, ½ teaspoon. If I can find the teaspoon. I can do it if I had it. Shit, I don't know what I've got. Oh, it's in the bicarb soda. So let's do the bicarb first. 1 teaspoon. So these are ½ teaspoon. 1 teaspoon. ½ teaspoon of baking powder. Put the lid on it. Whack it in the blitzer. It won't take long. While it's blitzing, measure out your flour. So I'm going to put it in the NutriBullet now. Just make it a loud noise. Measure out the flour. This is 2 cups. Doesn't have to be exactly. That's about 2 cups. About half. About half. 3 cups. Right, that's all blitzed up. So, open it carefully because it's got the bicarb and everything, it's going to try and explode. Tip all that in there. Beautiful. Mix it up gently. This is so easy to make. Also, what you do is you turn your oven on before you start this because you want the oven hot. Okay, we'll see how that's nice now. Now, if you've got a piping bag, put it in a piping bag and just pipe it into the tray. So much easier than trying to spoon it. Right, now, the recipe calls for greasing these. Too hard to clean, too messy, use paper cups, so much easier. All right, I'll get this organised, I'll come back to you. Alrighty, now I do have a piping bag, but you might not have one. So, improvise. Plastic bag. Ideally want the ones with corners. I didn't realise this didn't have a corner until I put the stuff in. But what I'm just going to do is just cut a little bit off. That's a pretty big hole. Just hang on to it though. And then just drop it in like that. You want about 3/4 full these things. And this should do about a dozen. It might be a little bit more. Look at this, no mess, so simple. Got 11. They're probably a little bit too big. So what I might do is grab a teaspoon and just take a little bit out of some of them. Ones that are too full. So this has taken no time at all. In fact, it took me longer to find the teaspoon than it did to do this. Done. In the oven, 175 degrees, about 15 minutes, check them. They should almost be ready. And we'll get back to you when that's done. Alrighty, that's 20 minutes. So, take a stick. You can actually feel the tops, they're cooked. But if you just want to be certain, take a skewer. If you don't have a skewer, use a fork or whatever, knife. Just stick it in, comes out. There's nothing stuck to it. So, let's have a look at those. Beautiful. Beautiful, look at that, so moist. So what you can do if you want to, see how easy they are to get out. You don't even need to wash this, just let it cool down and put it back in the cupboard. You can put a slice of banana on top before you cook them if you like. I know Stephanie does that, so. But have a go at them, enjoy it.